glad that you're here. I'm glad that I'm here and not in bed today. Although I will be moving that direction after our session today. Quick question. Just love to get some response back from you all, and that is, okay, how did the agenda go? How many, did anybody use it or use your version of it in a listing presentation this week? How did editing it and working from that work for you this week? Love to get some feedback on the use and execution of the agenda that we worked on last week. Anybody have anything to share? So nobody used it last week. Wow. Is that correct? Am I sensing that response from that realm? I wouldn't just say I didn't. Okay, cool. Josette, you made a new agenda for your listing package, so so are you feeling better about it? That Josette, more organized, has more of a sales strategy to it? Okay, excellent. How about the rest of you? Anybody else get it that far along where you've gotten it done and into your pre-listing package? Or are most of you just still working on it? Okay, why don't you go up above where the raised hand is and give me a green check mark that, hey, I've got it done, or a red X that I'm still working on it. Okay, so JJ, you're saying I'm still working on it. Okay, totally fine. Okay, so most of you are still working on it. Okay, so here's what I'd ask you, everybody, is please, please, please get it done this week. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because here's the thing. I'm gonna give you some action plans this week as well, everybody. And so I wanna make sure that you don't get too far behind here in some of the things that that we're working on here as a group, because I absolutely want to make sure that that you are making progress here in regards to what we're doing. And if you're continuing to be left behind, so to speak, okay, we need to make sure that we're not doing that. Okay, really, really key, because I've got more to work with you on today. Okay, and I understand, Ralph, there is a lot of work here to do. Okay, there is, and I totally get that. I totally understand that. All right, so I'm just trying to make sure that you've got the components in place, right? That you're using the questions that we worked on a couple of weeks ago. That last week we laid out the agenda, and this week everybody is, in my view, it's really the linchpin of the listing presentation. Certainly the questions that we asked beforehand really set up the opportunity, but really, okay, really what I would say is this week where we're working on what I characterize as why you should hire me, right? Those key components in what's the value of the national brand, what's the value of my individual brand internally in the marketplace. This is really where the rubber meets the road on a listing presentation. And we need to make sure that we're spending ample enough time. And I'm going to give you a lot of examples, a lot of scripts and dialogues today that are in your workbook, in your script supplement in there that you can functionally use, because this is where you're going to really separate yourself from the competition in terms of why somebody should ultimately do business with you and what makes you different. So the objectives, everybody, for today is really, first and foremost, understand the difference between what I would call qualitative selling and quantitative selling. So I'm going to give you some different examples in that on how to use some numbers to better position you as the expert of the marketplace, the real definitive edge in the marketplace. I want to work with you in selling more so than just features in your presentation. I really want to help you lock in mastering benefit-based selling and competitive points of difference and really aligning your service, your sales strategy, your strengths, and benefits with the prospect. Let me give you this, and this came up last week in a couple of training sessions I was doing with elite teams. And what I shared with them is I've come to the conclusion over the last 60, 90, 120 days that one of the things that has made me effective in terms of my ability to sell is the quick connection of being able to understand what the prospect wants and sell the benefits that I have as a salesperson or sales entity linked to what their needs, wants, and desires, but really accentuate the benefits of doing business with you. Okay, and thank you, Wallace. I appreciate your comment on what Mark and I did yesterday. Thanks so much. Everybody, you really have to get in the mindset of thinking benefit. What is the benefit to the consumer, to the client, to the prospect? And I'll tell you, the better you can create that link quick, fast, and everybody, I have to tell you, because I've been thinking about this the last, as I said, 120 days. I do not know how I got that skill. I don't know when I got it. I didn't have it early in my sales career, right? But that ability to just functionally shift in a moment and think based on an opening or an opportunity, bang, what's the benefit to the client? And being able to shift that quickly, whether it's a buyer or a seller, right, and really sell in the manner, in the benefit that the client wants, will explode your sales career. That's the key to sales, because you're linking in what they want with your service and value, and you're basically selling them what they want to buy. Here's the thing, everybody. It is a lot easier to sell to somebody what they want to buy than what you have to sell them. In other words, if I'm linking in that benefit, and that's why this session is so important, because we have to make sure you've got that clearly defined. You've got to go in selling benefit. You've got to go in with, here are my best, right, benefits toward a prospect, and I'm overlaying that or combining that, right, with the questions. So I literally have kind of a custom sales strategy in this moment right to that prospect. Now, quick question, everybody, because I want to make sure that I've made sense to you all. Does that make sense? Give me a green check mark or a yes, or and if I haven't made sense, give me a red X. But that's the key in this, right? Being able to, bang, link it in, boom, just like that. Not, I eventually get there, right? But I get there right now. So this section, this is what we're working on today. And again, I'm recording this, so we're going to move quick. There's a lot here. You may want to review this, right? And view this again to take more notes to help you with each step of the way here. We really need to make sure. And here's the thing. You can sell qualitatively, meaning more based on a feeling, testimonial, survey score, those types of things. Now I can turn survey scores into quantitative, and I'll show you how to do that, everybody. All right. And Kathy, I don't know if you want to make a question or have a comment. You had put your hand up. I didn't know whether it was just a green check mark. Okay, it sounds like you want to do that. So let me pass you the microphone. There you go ahead, Kathy. Can you hear me? Hello, Kathy. Okay, you're good. All right. I just saw your hand up, so I wanted to be responsive to that hand. All right. Hang on a second, everybody. I need to disable Kathy's microphone real quick here. Okay. So everybody, the aspect of qualitative, right, is a feeling. And I will tell you that most agents sell in a qualitative manner. They don't sell, right, in a quantitative manner. And you can use surveys, everybody, and I think surveying is really powerful. I think also you can use surveys to position you and to position your service brand and to position the opportunity in the marketplace. So, how many of you are using some level of survey when you are completed in a transaction with a client? Whether that's your individual survey, whether that is a company survey, all right. Zillow reviews, Mark, I think, um, and I'm just giving you my view. There's nothing wrong with getting reviews on Zillow, and certainly that validates your success. Okay, but I think one of the things that is important, everybody, is utilizing and delivering your own survey that has more of a quantitative nature, right? Where there's numeric scores. And I'll give you an example. Okay. And to me, there's a lot of good surveying tools out there, like Real Satisfied is a good surveying tool that creates into reviews. I mean, even something as simple as SurveyMonkey, right? SurveyMonkey is easy tool to use, great opportunity. You can design questions in terms of service and value, responsiveness, right? And then you can use the scores to sell your brand value package, meaning to sell you at the listing presentation. So I could use questions and scale them out on a scale of 1 to 10, or everybody, here's the thing. You want to design the survey well so the survey fits in terms of the screen. And meaning I want to make sure they don't have to scroll left and right. I only want them to scroll up and down. You don't want to ask. I mean, I got a survey the other day. Actually, it was from a competitor in our real estate industry that's in the trading industry, and they sent out a survey and they said, oh, it's a quick survey. Well, it was 40 questions. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to answer a 40 question survey. Not that I was going to answer it anyway, but I thought, you're nuts. Getting agents to answer a 40 question survey, totally, totally ridiculous. I'm sure they only got a handful of responses based on the overall round. Everybody, you want 10 to 15 questions max in terms of your survey. All right. You want to ask about service. You want to sell. And here's the thing, everybody. I can sell those survey scores. In other words, as an example, if I'm asking satisfaction levels and I get very high satisfaction scores, I can sell that back at the listing presentation that on average, our clients are either satisfied or very satisfied with our service at over 97% or 92% or 95%. So, Mr. Seller, I just want you to know that you really have very little risk in selecting us as the listing agent. I don't know what happened there. I am back. For some reason, Kathy has been assigned to be a host. I don't know why, Kathy, you're a host now. So, but I am back, everybody. I don't know what happened. Okay. So, percentage of business from referrals, everybody. Key, clear. All right. And everybody, I think you've got to recognize. All right. I understand, Kathy. It's all wonderful that I'm actually even here. So here we go. All right, percentage. Here's the other thing. A lot of you get a lot of business from referrals. In fact, here's my question: how much of a percentage of your business comes from referrals? How much a percentage of your business comes from referrals? Okay, so Kathy, 68%, excellent. 70, all right. Many of you, it's a very high number, right? 85, 80%. I'm seeing a bunch of 70s and 68, and some of you are newer, and I totally understand that. But here's the thing, everybody. If you position, right, the percentage of business that you get from referrals as the validation of the quality service that you provide. All right. And again, some of this fits, some of it this doesn't. Right. Some of you are newer, some of you do a tremendous amount of business, so your referral percentage is lower. But everybody, if you can position to the consumer, right, that high referral possession, right, 65, 70, 80%, you can sell to them on that scenario that functionally they have, again, no risk in doing business with you because your clients are extremely satisfied and they send their friends, neighbors, and relatives to come do business with you. So these people should feel very comfortable about doing business with you. So one way to differentiate yourself is that high percentage of referrals and really sell it as a benefit. Sell it as a benefit to that particular prospect. Now, again, qualitative is that feeling, quantitative is numeric. But here's the thing, quantitative, everybody, has a lot more power, right? Because it's provable, it's numeric based, it sells to the consumer, it's less interpretable, it's not my opinion, it's a factual number. And I need to focus around that quantitative measure and have more quantitative measures in what I'm selling than anything else. So I think there are 3 statistics that you need to know what they are. Now, everybody, this is what I call the big 3. And the big 3, to me, are very successful in terms of selling and selling opportunities. And what I mean by that is they prove that your system, whatever that system is, works. In other words, I want to compare me to another agent or to the market averages. I want to frame the differential in these 3. And these 3 especially, right, resonate with people that have had unsuccessful experience, whether that's a for sale by owner or an expired listing or withdrawn or canceled or a previous old expired, whatever it may be. These 3 are the power zone. Now, again, some of you, these 3 may not be stats that you can sell at this time, but you need to know what they are. So the first is average list price to sell price. In other words, what do you average overall securing for that buyer, for that seller in today's marketplace? When you list a property, what is the final sales price? And everybody, obviously in most markets, you're going to have to calculate that off the final list price against this final sales price, not the original, all right? Because most MLSs will not pull that. But here's the thing. Average list price to sell price proves that your marketing plan works. It proves that your negotiating skill works. It proves that your system, your strategy, your lead gen, lead conversion, it proves that all the components of your business work effectively. Meaning if you can show a comparative difference between your average list price to sell price and the market's average list price to sell price, you can sell to a very distinctive niche in terms of you're going to net them more money. Right? If my list price to sell price is 98% and the market average is 94, it proves that I'm going to net 4% more on the sale of their home. For their $300,000 home, that equates on average to $12,000 more money in their pocket. That is a huge distinction and drawing feature or differential between myself and the other agents, and you just lump the other agents in the category. All right. And for some of you, you might even look at the top 50 agents in the marketplace and do a comparison. there's some research here that you need to do, but everybody, I want you to make sure that in the end, you have the ability to functionally sell that differential, certainly average days in the market. I can sell the shorter time frame, which I can equate to more money in their pocket, greater urgency on the part of home shoppers and home buyers. In other words, I can slide, let's say my average list days on the marketplace for myself is 38 days, and the average for our market, for our board or our MLS, 68. It shows that I'm selling a property, reducing the hassle for that particular seller. It shows that in the end, they're going to make one less mortgage payment on a home that they no longer want to own. And that $1,500 a month, $1,700 a month, $900 a month, whatever the payment is, goes into net dollars in their pocket. It goes into net dollars in their pocket column. Does that make sense, everybody? Do you see that? Give me some kind of a high sign, whether it's a green check mark or a yes, chat in, one of the two. But again, I can move that onto my side of the ledger in terms of value. All right. And that enables me to show more money or reduce the hassle, right? In terms of that. And I think everybody, the hassle factor is big, right? It's especially for a seller when you're going through the hassle factor of keeping your home in a condition that isn't normal for most people in the way they live. The third would be average listings sold versus listings taken. In other words, right, I take 10 listings. What's the percentage of them that actually sell? Do I sell, 90% of the listings I take, 85%, 80%? What's the number? Again, it shows risk or reduction of risk. This is huge, everybody, to an expired, to withdrawn, to a canceled, to somebody that's gone through the experience of not selling their home successfully. Whether you're actively prospecting expireds or for sale by owners, everybody, this is a number that you need to know, you need to sell to, and you need to communicate to because of the power that it has, right? The average listing sold versus listings taken. Again, it relates to the odds of that particular client having a successful outcome. And certainly there's less fear of them not getting the home sold in today's marketplace because the inventory is low. So I might be selling number one more, right? Average list price to sell price. Here's the second thing, everybody, and don't miss this. Some of these will be more important to individual consumers based on who they are, which is why you have to ask the questions in advance so I know which of these three I'm going to highlight, or maybe I'm going to highlight all three of them and make them a critical part. Here's the thing, everybody. It proves, as I said earlier, it proves that your marketing plan, your marketing strategy works. It proves that your system of getting homes sold, right, is successful. That's what these three prove. And if you know what they are and you do a comparison, and I'll give you an example. All right, I used to work a lot of expired listings in my market in Portland, Oregon, and I'd go out on a good 100 expired listing appointments a year, and I would tell you every single week, without fail, I was up against this other very good real estate agent in our marketplace, and I had a file, and I'm not going to tell you the agent's name, but I had a Dave file, right? And literally, I always kept on top of Dave's average list to sale ratio, right? His average listings sold versus listings taken ratio, number 3, and I could. And I could show them that the odds of them, right, being successful in terms of selling was 62% in listing with Dave, where mine was 96, right? I mean, in the upper 90s, 95, 96, 97, always right in that realm. So I would basically say, hey, gosh, I know you're talking with Dave. Dave is a great agent. He's very successful. He sells a lot of homes. He sells a similar number of homes that I do. And I do want you to know that Dave's success rate is 62%. His average listing sold versus listings taken is 62%. And I could literally show them that number